Good morning. Here's the volume. Whew. Lots going on this morning. The speech from Powell yesterday afternoon went pretty well, driving the price of the US dollar down, bringing the stock market up. All right, let's add some tags to this video. Then we could put together a watch list. Tags. All right. Close that. Minimize that. Don't accidentally click on that. Yo, Nano, what's up? Adobe's moving quite a bit. Oof. Quite a bit. Let's duplicate this. Make one for today. Pre-market watch list. Adobe. Accenture. 69K volume. Nano, how are you doing today? Ready to make money? This is fine, looking like an ACN. It's low. It's low, but I might be able to find some volume. Will was just saying in the Discord the volume seems pretty low today, and he is right. Plug is moving. What else? Doc U, what does that volume look like? Hoping it comes in at the open. That's exactly what I'm thinking. So individual stocks on days where the market moves a lot, it's tricky. Because there's days where, like, say something happens in the tech sector, and tech is getting a lot of volume, and that moves the market a lot. Then the individual stocks in the tech sector would have a lot of volume. But if something happens to, say, the US dollar that causes the overall stock market to move, then index funds, the volatility index, things like those will move with more volume. But individual stocks, there's nothing happening for somebody to say, choose Doc U, that's down 3%. Why would I short this instead of shorting the overall market when everybody's just watching SPY? And good, thank you. It might. Most of the gaps that we've seen recently are gap fills. We are up 1.56%, around all-time high. Let's add DocU. I'm going to add SPY to the watch list as well. That seems like a logical thing to do. I also want to check out what cryptocurrencies are moving quite a bit this morning. Ethereum's up like 10%. So I want to see what those are doing. Okay. Okay. All right. That's that. SPY, of course. I'm going to look at the chart. You trade derivatives. Okay. How's that experience gone for you? How are you doing with that? Nadish. On cost. Qualcomm is on your family of stocks. Cost, I haven't seen you trade too much, Junior. PayPal potential double bottom break to the upside 4 hour. That would be interesting. So SPY all-time high is 473.54. Pre-market we are at 470. So not quite all-time high, 3 points off, but close. Is that correct? No, this isn't showing me pre-market right now for some reason. We're up to, what was the high pre-market? 474.86. There we go. 474.86. So the previous all-time high is going to act as a little bit of SR, which is 473.54. So we'll want to just keep that in mind today. I'm actually going to draw a level on my chart. See right there. What was Nadish saying? Trading based on Fibonacci levels. Okay, mostly the 62% level. I'm rounding there, but that's a highly, well, for what you're trading, a lot of people trade that. It's a highly technical way to trade because the Fibonacci levels really mean nothing. The only thing that they mean is that other people are trading them. As long as there's other people trading them, which with what you're trading, there should be other people trading them, then you should be fine. Have you been consistently profitable with that? Trading based off of the 62 level primarily. So I would assume then you're looking for your derivatives to pull back to that 61.8 level. And then you purchase? Yeah, pullbacks, okay. Snow is moving a little bit. What does the volume look like? This was up 2.78% yesterday, and we pretty much recovered yesterday's move today. No volume, though. I mean, there's a bit of volume, but not much. AT&T is moving a little bit. Need to get Reprone in here. He likes trading those AT&T. No, he's trading Nvidia mostly. Who's trading AT&T? What was his name? Let me look in the Discord. Robe was trading that. The other R. He liked trading the telecom companies. Adobe is just going to be a big one. Delta 91 cents. 2.5%. Alright, what else is moving? CALT Therapeutics. What is this? CALT. FDA, good news. Okay. Yeah, that's worth adding. No volume, no volume. FREY. batteries. All right, awarded. So, okay, so good news. This is trading on good news. I'll show you guys the charts now. I think we're done just chatting. This is moving on good news. It's up to one pre-market, up 115. Why isn't this lower chart showing me pre-market anymore? It's pulled back mostly though. I don't love that. I don't love that chart. What else do we have? BKKT, DNMR, Adobe. Yeah, I like our list. Not adding too much to it. GRTX from yesterday and the day before is down 7%, but it's a penny stock, so I don't like taking those down, only if they're gapping up. But it does have volume. All right, last website. FOUN, this is a SPAC. What are they launching at? What is this moving from? Place in, whoops. Sorry about that. Rubicon. Going public, 1.7 billion. Customers including Walmart, Starbucks, etc. No. Just looks messy. FUTU. What is that moving? 1%. Nvidia is moving a little bit, but $5. 1.6%. Okay. I think that's about it. Let's see what people are looking at on social media. And then I expect to add a few things once the market goes live. IRNT, 30% gap down. IRNT. Market is open. I don't love it. Okay, let me add this watch list together. And then we could watch the opening minutes on these stocks. And then, let's see, we have 5. We have ACN. Watch the opening minutes on these, and then we will add some from the scanner if anything pops up. Adobe is the one I'm most interested in. I expect the market to pull back and close its gap. Plug OBO happening right now. Those of you who trade that setup, my mouse is not working because I need to update my computer. Over the past week, things have been very slow. You probably have heard me talk about it. My RAM is being completely used up, even when I have nothing open. So there's something going on in the background. Even I restarted my computer, that doesn't do it, but there's something going on in the background that's taking up all my RAM. And it causes stuff like my mouse, the sensitivity is software based. It's a wireless mouse. So when the software slows down, my sensitivity goes all haywire. Adobe bouncing now, getting ready for an OBD possibly. All right, last but not least, DocU. Going to post this watch list now. And then get to trading. You all excited for... I keep pulling up. Are you all excited for the small account challenge in a few weeks? I am. I know I am. All right, there's that. Let me open up Adobe and Instagram. Adobe OBD is triggering right now. Let's make that orange, and then let's add in the link to YouTube. Okay. Paste. Trade live. I can't type. All right, OBD triggered. Technically. Here in Adobe, under this pullback low, my mouse sensitivity is still not working. How much are you starting with? $365. It's the 365 challenge. Oh, this just stopped out before I could even, I can't use my mouse. What's going on? Try plugging it in for now. I'm trading $365 for 365 days. Okay, mouse plugged in and working. Where were we? Kevin Durant signs deal to promote crypto platform Coinbase. Interesting. All right, so far a lot of fakes in the market, especially SPY. What are you all saying? It is live. It is seriously 1:30 delay on stream to real time. Really? Is that on everybody who's watching? Are you getting that delay? Because I'm not seeing that delay. I'm watching my stream as well and I see it live. I don't know if it has anything to do with the location I'm streaming from. Here, I'm gonna put my hand up and see how long it takes. Yeah, no, there's no delay on my end. Try refreshing. And don't forget to like the stream. Of course, that's very important. To click like while we're live. Yeah, it is going to be tough. Why is the thumbnail on my stream is wrong? Why is that the thumbnail? I uploaded a different thumbnail. No, there is a different thumbnail. It's just not showing it. Interesting. It's showing my YouTube banner. You said market was live and it was 1:30 later. Oh, yeah. No, I just said it late. It has nothing to do with... No, I said the market's live a minute too late. I was on a different browser adding stocks to my watch list. And posting it on different platforms. I just said it late. I didn't say, and the market's live. As soon as the market went live, I did say it a minute and a half late. So that wasn't YouTube. It was me. My brain's 90 seconds delayed. Okay, now SPY comes back down. So it just faked out with this green wick breaking over high day and is coming back down. I'm still believing that this could close its gap. Let's run through the stocks. On the watch list, ACN looks like it wants to close its gap as well. Plug is not doing anything. SPY is more than halfway to closing its gap now. Adobe doesn't know what it wants to do after that. Oof. All right, gap up. Nucor is moving a little bit. Let me sort this by volume so we can look at just what everybody else is looking at. BEKE and T. BEKE is moving like crazy. Apparently, like there's a lot of volume coming into it. There was a bit of a breakout. Okay. And then T. Fake out on SPY is brutal. Yeah, that's why you don't trade those types of setups in SPY. SPY does not work for breakouts and breakdowns because it is an accumulation of all the individual assets underneath it. It's not one thing. People aren't trading SPY off of SPY support and resistance levels. I mean, yeah, that has somewhat of a factor to it, being SPY and not SPX, but not nearly as much as an individual stock does. SPY is much better for trends and trend changes and reversals, big swing plays. But if you played what I called out at the open, the gap fill with high, the previous all-time high, which we opened below, by the way. So in the live market, we still have yet to set a new all-time high. That as your main resistance level. So you could use that as a stop level and then previous close as your target. That's a valid trade. Double wick top in Ethereum and BTC similar? No, just Ethereum. So Ethereum's decently bullish today, but double top right around 4,100. It is at 40.95. Looks like it's coming back down with some decent volume now. I was looking a lot into the NFT space, which I'm familiar with, and I have been since before the likes of Gary Vee and a bunch of athletes have started promoting it. But now it's getting to a point where I can't ignore it anymore, or nobody can really ignore it anymore when it's become mainstream, you could say. But it's to the point where it has been accepted by enough people that large businesses are going to start running on NFTs. And then what really started to pique my interest was the whole metaverse stuff with Facebook changing. And we're just now getting to a point about a month after Facebook's announcement. Was it out a month ago? Feels like it. That large companies are now following suit and giving their announcements of how they will be a part of the metaverse and use that business model. Got me thinking about how the future of education, this will have to respond. I don't think it would work having some video game avatar walking around in virtual reality, Ready Player One style, going to school. That gives you a little bit of a social experience, but I don't think it's enough. But we don't have the research on that yet. We have no idea. So I do think in-person experiences will still be important, but it will be interesting, say, if Spark tokens on the Inlight app were a cryptocurrency, an actual crypto token, as opposed to just an in-game currency or in-app currency, if you will. So it could change in value. You all would have a reason to invest in a bunch of Spark tokens up front when the price is cheap before it skyrockets, and then you would just purchase education with that currency. So it's like an education currency. So that whatever money you put into that currency, into the cryptocurrency, would be a direct correlation to the amount of education you plan on giving yourself in the future. And then who knows, other school systems could run on the same currency, and then you have people, instead of paying tuition or getting grants from the government or getting scholarships, they're being given, instead of parents helping with tuition, for example, they would give you Spark tokens. And then you would spend those Spark tokens on your education. That would be interesting. I was also looking into the metaverse side of that, where there are games with in-game currencies that are actual currencies that you can make actual money off of or exchange for actual money. And so you essentially play the game, earn experience points in the game, and exchange those experience points for actual money. Now that reminded me a lot of the Embers in the Inlight app, those of you who have seen the introduction video. I'm going to check some gap downs really quick while I talk. The introduction video to the Inlight app with Embers as your reward for experience for every time you complete a course or mentorship, let's say a month of mentorship, or you track a certain number of trades in the app, you eventually earn these Embers. Maybe that's one way for students to earn money, is as they earn Embers, as they put time and effort into their education, you get those Embers, and you could exchange those Embers for a monetary value, for maybe Spark tokens or who knows. In most games, like the most popular one that I was looking into, they have the cryptocurrency, which is like how you buy into the game. And then they have the in-game currency, which is how it acts as a like fuel to the fire. You can directly exchange it for money, I believe, but it's meant to help you continue playing the game and continue to earn the cryptocurrency, and then you exchange the cryptocurrency for money. All right, as far as gap downs, the only one really is BKKT, which is down 20%. BKKT and Court. We looked at BKKT earlier, I believe. Big green candle and SPY. Yeah, that's not really doing much. Court down 7%, just following SPY. Decent breakdown. We'll see what this does. You say LLY. Adisha, are you still in here? Curious what your trading style is resulting this morning. I know you don't trade the US market, but it does react to it for sure. Your market. LLY is only down 0.2%, not much volatility, not much momentum. Going for the reciprocal move. It didn't gap, so there's no real reciprocal. Because the reciprocal is the gap fills so fast that momentum carries through the same distance in the opposite direction. But there was no gap. This opened up pretty much break even. It did move down, but it wasn't a gap. The idea behind a reciprocal move is that gap fills so quickly that the momentum continues. SPY, for example, might do that if it stops with these random big green candles. Thought reciprocal meant a dip to support and then a continuation. No, that would be a breakout. The continuation would just be a normal breakout if it dips down to support and then a breakout. No, reciprocal is a mirroring of the gap. So if it's a situation where, let's say you have a big gap down, but the market's very bullish, so you don't want to take any trades short in an individual stock. You would look for a trade long, but it's kind of risky to take a trade long while it's still down for the day. Then you'll wait for that gap to close, to fill, and then treat previous close as a breakout level for it then to mirror the length of the gap. The whole point of the reciprocal is just to help you place a target if you're trading the breakout of the previous close level. So normally you'll see a gap down stock come down. Let's just say this level is the previous close. Okay. You'll have a gap up, in this case, come down, fill the gap, bounce a little bit, and some people might go long here, thinking that it's bouncing off a previous close but still bullish, but then it ends up coming back down. You would take this short as it breaks under previous close, and then you're thinking, okay, well, this was the SR level, previous close, where's my next target going to be? You do the reciprocal level, which would be around here, and that's just your target. And so it is mirroring. Do I have? Yeah, it is mirroring this. The same length. And that's the idea. So we'll see if SPY can fill its gap. It might give an opportunity for that. Maybe not. I'm going to run through this watch list again. CALT pulling back. ACN is moving back up. We'll see if that sets up for a breakout. BEKE slowly trending up. There was this initial breakout. That was the best play, but then the secondary breakout was another opportunity. We didn't see the initial one, but we did see the secondary breakout, so this would have been the trade you could have taken. 120, just 21 as target. Horizontal line, please. So that could have been your trade on a breakout of this one. The initial breakout is good as well, but that didn't pop up on scanners until, it didn't pop up on my scanner at least. I didn't see it until the second breakout. All right, who all is still in here? I think it's just you and me. Oh, Whale's still here. Yeah, BEKE is really the only setup that I saw. That plug OBO wasn't very good with this very long wick. SPY just looking to fill its gap. Court bouncing with SPY. Didn't really give a good OBD opportunity either. It kind of did. It reached the 4% mark and would have triggered with this as the breakdown level right before the pullback. So maybe 18 would have been the first SR level, so that is at least 1R. And then 1750 is the next one. Did not hit, missed by 5 cents, so then profit stopped out at 18. What else? Adobe was the one I was most excited about, but this is just slowly trending up on the day, so I would actually watch for this one. Now that SPY is coming back down, I'd watch for this to break down. This looks like something that Whale would trade. Normally you trade this on a gap up that's overextended more than 10%, that type of trade, but I could see you taking this on a gap down to 7%. This is coming down. We'll see if it forms something like this. This is what I would see you trading. And then it bounces off of, say, like 580 and then comes down and you take that short under 580. We'll see what it sets up. But I could see you taking that trade. Definitely. Big flat bottom. What do you mean? Yeah, around that entry level. This one might also come down under 20 and give you that same pattern that I was talking about in Adobe, but in a gap up instead. LLY, no option liquidity. Yeah, that's tricky. Would no option liquidity. Let me just check. That's a good run. It's up 1.6% now. So you saw it at a good time. Cup and handle pattern is what happened there. Cup and handle that got some momentum against the market. Let me check the options in this one. What are you talking about? Low liquidity. It looks pretty okay. The spread is a little ridiculous. 35 cents to 70 cents, 100% spread. Yeah, I could see what you're saying. In this case, I would just place limit orders and hope to get lucky, and you would place it before the breakout and get in a little bit early before the spread really widens. Right now the spread is extra wide because this is moving with some volatility. Yeah, volume's quite low. Yeah, it's a tricky one. You don't want to get caught into that and then sell on a market order and get an absolutely terrible fill. Still bullish, but definitely something on Beak. Yeah. But so the similar moves, like you said, but one's up 8%, the other's down 8%. Adobe looks a little bit better, I think, especially with overall sentiment of SPY closing its gap. And it just looks a little cleaner. And taking a short on a gap down of 8%, that confirms it will continue down. You're getting something kind of the reverse of Adobe here in CALT, although this is up 38% right now, so it doesn't have that much room to run, but even if it comes near high of day, that's still a decent move. How it came up, broke out of its downward trend, and is possibly setting a higher high over 25.75. But volume has really died down on this one, so I don't love it. Beak is bouncing back up. If this does break under 20, that'll be pretty bearish. Definitely. SPY is breaking down. What is Adobe doing? Hopefully this gave you a bounce before breaking 380. No, it didn't. It kind of did. Not before 380, but I have seen you take an entry on this small of a bounce before. You didn't get a green candle. Here's the green candle on 380 that we were waiting for. Okay, here we go. Green candle on 380. But I could see Well, if you got in on this initial break here, because that still is 1R down to 380. Adobe broke down but didn't like that doji. I don't see a doji personally. This inverted hammer maybe? On the 1 minute, I don't see a doji. But there is this move happening right now as it bounces off of 380 that you could take. As far as targets go, right around here at 575. That open huge green candle makes me leery of it today. Open huge green candle. Here from 940, or this one from 936. It is forming some big green candles, that's for sure. But so was SPY at that point. It was coming down a little bit, and then boom, big green candle. Coming down, boom, big green candle. That one that stopped out, the OBD, yeah. So you had the OBD come down here, and then stopped out right here. Yeah, that one was just following SPY. This trade did trigger. This one right here. This is the exact trade that I called out for you that I was thinking you would take. Testing 580, which it did pretty much perfectly. 30 cents, 29 cents off for a $580 stock is not bad. Decent stop, 2-point stop. And then target's not super great. Actually, I like this better because of all of this pre-market. 576. So we'll see if that works, but volume is petering off. Yeah, SPY just closed its gap. Close was 470.60. Low was 75. So 15 cents off of closing its gap. I would give this like a B. Watching to 576. There you go. All right, good idea. Good idea. What is Beak doing? This is coming back down if you liked this one more, under 20-ish. ETH is coming back down. Interesting. All right, now SPY has closed its gap. So looking for a reciprocal move now. That Adobe trade looks like it's going to be pretty solid. Let me draw a level at this gap. 570, what did I say? 570, 60? Yeah. All right, put that in gray. So there's previous close. It would be nice to get a bounce off of it for the reciprocal, but we might get a bounce underneath and have previous close as the stop. 20 is strong so far in Beak. It is, which makes it even better of a breakdown opportunity. Adobe is coming down. This is roughly a 2R trade, but the target is only 2 candle lengths of the average length of the candles in this stock. So it's not too crazy of an ask. Looks like it's going to fill as SPY completely breaks down. No pullback or anything for the reciprocal move. Here we go. Adobe about to hit its target. Like this had your name written all over it. I've seen you take this trade 20 times. Maybe a little bit cleaner of a version of it, but Heavy selling on Tesla? What does heavy selling mean to you? Let me see. Welcome everybody who's tuning in. If you have a stock you want me to check out, let me know. Yeah, I mean, very, very, very steady downtrend. Looks quite similar to SPY, which this normally does, now that it's in the S&P 500. Paris crash Tesla driver says car accelerated on its own. The lawyer for a taxi driver involved in a fatal accident in Paris at the weekend said the driver's Tesla Model 3 vehicle had accelerated on its own. So a taxi got hit by a Model 3 and its brakes had not worked. Paris Taxi Energy 7 expended. Oh no, the taxi driver was driving a Tesla. It was a Tesla being used as a taxi. This company is using 37 Tesla Model 3s, and they suspended that entire fleet while it waits for a police investigation. One person was killed and 20 injured, 3 of them seriously. How are 20 people injured from a Tesla Model 3? What did they hit? That doesn't sound like an accidental situation. Taxi driver explained that he had that the car had accelerated on its own and that he did not succeed in activating the brakes. He did not succeed. They didn't word it that the police officers did not word it that the car did not succeed. They worded it that the driver did not succeed. The brakes did not work despite his best efforts. Okay, that's contradictory. She said the wreckage of the car was being investigated by police who had found the USB key which records the car's activity in the glove compartment. After the driver was briefly hospitalized for minor injuries and then held for questioning for 48 hours, he was placed under formal investigation. So they held him in custody for 48 hours. Ah, that's true, Will. You don't like $300+ stocks. That is true. SPY is now pulled back and is testing previous close from underneath. If it rejects this, then we could take a serious look at a reciprocal move. Driver born in 1964 has been a taxi driver since the 90s and has never been involved in an accident. Tesla has not responded to requests for comment. Well, this has happened before. Tesla system. Last year, the U.S. Into over 200 complaints about sudden acceleration of Tesla cars, but the regulator later said it found no defects in Tesla systems, saying the accidents were caused by pedal misapplication, meaning the people just failed to press on the pedal hard enough. Damien, welcome. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of news pieces about Tesla and their autonomous driving, but accelerating and injuring 20 people? How does that happen? Paris Tesla Model 3 crash. I'm curious, did it hit a bus? Okay, it was dispelled. There were no technical issues. Cool. Driver lost control of his Tesla on Saturday night and saw the leaving 3 people in it. Given the speed and the trajectory of the vehicle, which struck multiple objects as it careened down the street, there were initially suspicions of a malfunction, such as a stuck accelerator. But how do you swerve off of the street due to a stuck accelerator? After checking the crash vehicle's data remotely, Tesla denied any technical problem with the car. Yeah. So they collected data from the sensors and cameras and no issues. They are also rated one of the safest cars on the road. So it does not sound like it's Tesla's fault. SPY did perfectly test previous close as resistance and break down, triggering a reciprocal move. I'm going to draw that move now on the chart, and we can watch to see if it hits target. It might not. This strategy has a lower win rate in terms of hitting the reciprocal target. has a, I would say it has an average win rate and an average profit reward to risk ratio. Like a 60% win rate and an average of 1.5 R is usually what I have seen in this, which is pretty good. As far as target goes, 68 seems to be the next level. 468. Actually, there's a level here at 468.50 from the 9th and the 7th. 468.50. Okay, 468.50 and then 468 as targets. So far it did just wick through. Hopefully it doesn't stop out before coming down, but that is a 3R trade. Anyways, Damien, welcome. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to teach you anything you want to know about trading. LOY doesn't care at all about this market drop. No, LOY had its own positive news this week. I believe on Monday. Did it have more news today? Price target increased. Yeah. And the CEO released new... Why is it opening a new window? The CEO released good news. Cool. So yeah, this is just having good news, which is great. Were you able to get some options, or you didn't want to chase it at this point? I can see why you might be stuck watching it now, having some FOMO. What did Tesla end up doing? Pulling back and then now testing lows. Beak, Whale says. All right. Yeah, it pretty much triggered, not quite at the 20 level. You might have taken it at the 20 level. Let's see if you sent me a message. Did you take this one? The spreads are still very wide. Yeah, I figured you wouldn't chase it. Just experiencing a little FOMO, I guess. But yeah, with Beak, well, I mean, I could see you taking, but I could also see you not taking because it's only up 4%. It's not up 20, 30%. SPY is struggling. Nearly stopping out. I just realized I didn't draw my stop properly. The highs here. Nearly stopping out, which it looks like it might, or probably will. It's struggling right now with previous close as resistance, testing it a second time. I'd be completely happy if this does stop out to prove that this resistance of previous close was not able to hold up, and this ends up turning bullish, that you would want to be out and not hold on to it any longer. But when something has a 60% win rate, you expect 4 out of 10 trades that you take on it to not work out. But 6 out of 10 do, and if like this one has a 3R trade or a 3R profit, if all of them have that, then you'll be profitable after taking 10 of them. So I always say to keep that 100 trades mentality. Don't worry about this individual trade not working out. It's okay. Some trades will lose. That's a guarantee. The only guarantee in the market is that you will lose money at one point or another. As long as you manage that properly, you'll make money in the long run over the course of 100 trades. I was watching some Twitch stock traders yesterday, and oh man, are they bad? They're trying to force their will onto the market. Yeah. Yep. That type of stuff, and hearing that from you as well is disheartening to me, because they also get a bunch of viewers and a lot of subscribers, like paid subscribers on Twitch, a lot of people buying their courses when that's what they're doing. It's quite unfortunate. The thing that turns me off of what has become of trading over the past year since the whole GameStop fiasco is how popular it has gotten and how low quality people's expectations are for their education, because there are so many people now who are in the unknown category of, like, say anything about the stock market and they say I don't know, right? So the bar has been dropped very, very low. So anybody like in light education that's way above the bar is just way above the bar. But being just above the bar to what people are buying and watching and liking and commenting on and sharing and doing all that is actually hurting them more than helping them. I'm not going to go and teach stuff that hurts a bunch of beginner traders, but they are being hurt as opposed to helped, because they're getting caught on the entertainment factor, the hype that is surrounded trading. A little bit of it is now venturing into the crypto and the NFT space, which is kind of nice. Hopefully the equity day trading space will settle down a little bit, but all it takes is the next GameStop to bring all the originals back in and then some. Everybody who missed the initial GameStop move will then jump on it a second time, just like after a stock halts, everybody sees that it's halted, they wait and they jump on the second run. This SPY trade hit its stop, by the way. I think in the past couple of weeks, the reciprocal moves that we've watched on stream, I think we've seen about like 5, and this is the first stop out of 5, so that's pretty good actually. 80% win rate with an average. Normally I see like I said earlier, an average of 1.5 R ish, but I think we've seen an average of like 3 to 5 R on these. You can see this level is definitely resistance with this inverted hammer not closing above it, but you still don't want to risk as it sets that higher low, higher high. You don't want to risk being caught in that, so that's okay. What did Beak end up doing? Beak is still making its way down if Whale ended up trading that one. He did not end up trading that one. It's unfortunate. Junior, I'm curious. More details on that though. I'm also curious on your thoughts, because you are at a level where you're not actively seeking a paid education and you don't need to. But you do have plenty to learn, of course, as everybody does. You have plenty to learn and you enjoy trading content like live streams, YouTube videos, all of that. So I'm curious what your view is on what I was just explaining my opinions on, with the retail trading space and the retail trading online education space getting extremely diluted in quality. Like you're saying, those other Twitch stock traders. Adobe is still coming down, hit its target. So of the shorts that triggered today, Court profitable, Adobe profitable. I should start keeping track of trades. Hold on. 1216 trades, Court, OBD, entry 1835, stop 1856, target 18, and then we have Adobe. This was a guess you could call this a trend change or a pullback, or a trend continuation, a pullback on the overall downtrend. I don't really have a name for this. Well, we need to come up with a name for this strategy. I think we've called it something before, but I can't remember. Anyways, 580.29 entry, 582.30 stop, and 576 target. What else do we have? We had SPY, right? Plug didn't do anything. Yeah, so we have SPY. This one stopped out. Reciprocal breakdown. It's now bouncing back up. Could not hold under previous close with an inverted head and shoulders. So you could take another trade on this one actually and end up being bullish on it and go long over that stop level. And then use this target as the neckline as your new stop. And that's a very valid trade setup. Target was what, 468.50, so that's going to be minus 1R, and then Beak. Two trades in Beak. The OBO, but the secondary OBO. Because the first one didn't alert yet. 1952 stop, 21 target. And then the secondary one would be, you'd want to wait for the break of this wick, so you would have waited for this pullback. Stop there, just over 20 whole number, and then target 19. So this is going to be that same trend change. This is a gap up trend change. The other one was a gap down. Gap down trend continuation, and this is a gap up trend reversal. There's the name. 1984, stop 2004. I like that. It's just over that 20. Nice even number. And then 19 target. Not bad. Not bad at all. So 5 trades, 1 loss, 4 wins. 80% win rate, not bad. Nadish, welcome back. All right, let's catch up on chat messages. Let me pull up the actual chat that I could respond to. Yeah, for sure, it's sad to see, really. Yeah. For this long is due to your no. Yeah, I appreciate that. They do have a lot of emotion, and so that's, you just pinpointed it, Junior. They're filled with a lot of emotion. I haven't actually worded it that way before, and I'm glad you did. What makes things entertaining? In movies, TV shows, live streams, YouTube videos? What makes things entertaining? If I were to just sit here, which I do quite often, no facial expressions, monotone voice, there's no emotion, right? That's generally how I am, but it's also how I trade. I try to add inflections in my voice and move around and do things just to make things more interesting. But there's no drama. And with no drama, there's no emotion. So I'll never get as many views as somebody with a bunch of drama and a bunch of emotion, because that's just not as entertaining. And entertainment will always get more views and more of a response than educational. There's tons and tons and tons of proof of that, but I'll just leave it in a simple form, a simple statement. So if you have a stock trading streamer who's all over the place, crazy emotional, freaking out, yelling at the screen every time he's losing money, shouting at the stock market to do what he wants. One of them always yells, "Come to Papa," when a stock is moving in his direction. Some of you might get that reference. Or screaming hyper emotion when a trade works out. Versus me just sitting here talking, monotone, not going crazy, not jumping up and down, taking a few trades here and there, teaching some things here and there, having some non-trading related discussions here and there. Very chill. I mean, you could hear the lo-fi music in the background. No emotion, right? A little bit here and there when it's genuine and intentional, like talking about life events or something. Or like I said, I'll try to add inflections in my voice here and there, but generally no emotion. Which one will get more viewers on Twitch, side by side? You watch this one that's going all crazy up and down and giving you all these chemical releases in your brain when you're watching it, or one that you might learn some things from, but it's much more difficult to watch. It's less entertaining to watch. This one will always get more views, more attention, more everything, more followers. So that's a great point. They're just filled with tons of emotion. I'm glad you put it that way. That's a really good point. And I'm not going to change to try and get more views, which, look, I've been teaching trading for 6 years now. 6 years, which feels crazy for me to say that. I've been teaching trading. I've been trading for over 6 years, and I've been teaching for like 5.8 years or something. I've been teaching for longer than that, but I've been teaching for money, like for an exchange of money, for like 5.8 years. I've been like actually teaching for like 6 years, right? Let's just say 6 years. I've been teaching this for 6 years. I finally get to a point where I can wear my brand on a hat, on a $20 hat, but I'm no millionaire. Those hype guys, like you're saying, those high emotional traders, they've made tons of money. They genuinely have. Most of them just got lucky on holding Bitcoin, which is totally fine, to each their own. But they've made a lot of money, and they've grown businesses, and they've been able to advertise and market their businesses pretty well, and they're doing well for themselves financially. They're doing much better than me as entrepreneurs, which is great for them. I'm happy for them. But my damn morals get in my way of business. I'm not going to teach you to be emotional because it's entertaining so that I can make more money and you can't. The whole reason why I love teaching trading specifically so much, whenever people ask me, if you're so good at trading, why would you spend your time teaching instead of trading? And you know what? The times that I traded full time, I made a lot more money than when I taught trading. It was a big decision to quit trading full time because those of you who plan on becoming mentors in the future, it'll be a little bit different for you because you're not trying to run a full business as well as just the mentoring. If I were just mentoring and that was all I had to do, then I could probably also trade full-time on the side or do the mentoring on the side of trading full-time. But running all the social media, planning educational material, having business meetings regularly, getting the app created, all of that, all of the business stuff, right? Having to constantly call banks and lawyers and all sorts of stuff. I am not able to trade full-time. I haven't traded full-time in a while. I also invested all of my trading capital into the business. So I don't have the capital to trade because I've invested all of it. It's invested instead of speculative trading in other companies. I'm speculative investing in my own company. But my response whenever somebody says, why would you make that decision? The point of trading is to make money. For me, the point of trading was for freedom. I wanted to quit my job and live without that job. And I did that successfully. But then I realized I've gained this skill, this knowledge, this power to say, make $1,000 in a trade. Now, would I rather sit in front of a computer and make $1,000 myself? Or in the same amount of time, would I rather sit in front of a computer and help 1,000 of you make $1,000? How much value am I bringing to the world? In one instance, I'm bringing a maximum $1,000 to the world because I'll then have $1,000 and then I could turn that $1,000 into some amount of value. $1,000 I'm bringing out of the market into my hands and people who I influence. Versus 1,000 people making $1,000 because of me, because I helped them do that. That's $1 million. 1,000 is $1 million. So either I can have $1,000 in value or $1 million in value. I would choose $1 million in value 10 times out of 10, 12 times out of 10, no question. No question. So that's why I personally choose to teach instead of trade. My passion also is teaching and education, changing the education industry, Enlight, all of that. Like that's what I genuinely want to do. I would quit everything trading related in a heartbeat if I had the opportunity to do all of the other education stuff with the full well-being that I want to do. The only reason I continue teaching the trading and doing the trading stuff 6 years later is because I'm still developing the education company off of the trading. Because that's the skill that I'm teaching and testing, and that's the brand that I've built. So that's the starting platform that I'm jumping off of. Right? But if somebody came in front of me and said, look, here's everything you need to do all of the rest of it, you can stop doing the trading stuff and move on to the next stuff, I would in a heartbeat, because my passion is the education stuff. That's not to say I don't still love trading. It's one of my favorite sports, absolutely, but it's not my passion. So that's why I choose teaching instead of just trading. Yeah, I can make more money if I was just trading. Yeah, maybe if I traded full time for the past 6 years instead of choosing to teach, I might have made enough money to then be able to start this business with more money, fund the app fully myself with more than just $5,000 into it from an Indiegogo campaign, like fully fund the app, not just an MVP of the app. I probably could have done much more, maybe, in hindsight, sure. But I can't go back 6 years. I'm totally happy with what I've done. I've also learned a lot about teaching, mentorship, one-on-one education that I can then use to build Enlight. So I'm absolutely happy and satisfied with what I've accomplished. That's why I don't do the entertainment route of trading. That's why I don't do the crazy emotional side of it, because I'm so focused on the education side. And unfortunately, the only way for that type of genuine, I can't think of the word. For me being that genuine, the best way, the optimal way for that to grow as a business is through all of you. Unfortunately, right? Because I'd love to just like go out and sell a bunch of courses and sell a bunch of mentorships, but it takes, when a company focuses on quality over quantity, focuses on morals over emotions and drama, because drama sells. It's easy to sell when you have drama. Look at the Paul brothers on YouTube, how fast they were able to grow their YouTube accounts and then sell all their merchandise and become instant millionaires overnight, practically, from their switch from Vine over to YouTube. Drama sells. Drama sells. But I choose morals over drama, so the way that sells is through word of mouth. That's from you guys telling your friends and family to also sign up. If you learn something, tell them to watch this stream. If you liked a video, share it. Stuff like that. In India, also many trading gurus made millions from beginners like me, and they don't trade themselves. They just flash cars and watches. Yeah, and most of those cars and watches, this happens in like, you see this a lot of people traveling to Dubai, where there's a ton of luxury cars, and you can drive a luxury car without owning one. You see this a lot. People renting these luxury cars, renting a luxury Airbnb, renting out this mansion. You can rent a watch and put it on your wrist, film a couple videos, film a vlog style video, film an entire course with that watch on your wrist, with clips of you driving the car, film it in front of that house, and look like you have all this wealth in the course of 2 or 3 days that you've rented all that out, or even in one day. You could do all that in one day. Film all of that in just one day of renting these things out, and then pretend like you're this millionaire, like those are things that you own. It's so easy to do that. So easy. It's actually a common thing here in Africa as well. Nadish. India is quite similar, but it's a common thing here. I have a student in West Africa who is helping me fight against the same thing in his country and neighboring countries, where people are doing that exact same thing. And then here in South Africa, there's a lot of that in Bitcoin scams, especially, where people will ask for money and they'll say, I'll 3x your money in a week in Bitcoin. Just trust me. Send me $10,000 minimum, which is a lot of money, especially for here. And people send it because they're desperate. Like, I only have $10,000 to my name. What could I do if I had 30,000? Holy cow. I could live a luxury lifestyle in this country on 30,000. And so they do it. And I know people personally who have fallen for that. I know people personally who have fallen for that after me telling them not to fall for that. After I directly said, don't fall for that, they have fallen for it. And that's how tempting that can be. So yeah, definitely be careful. I'm really happy to hear, Nadish, that you are aware of that. Because that makes me believe that you're not going to fall for it. I'm going to draw out this inverted head and shoulders play that I talked about earlier, so that you guys can see. Six trades, 5 wins, 1 loss. That's not terrible. For a choppy day. That is if you did not chase the wick in, what was it, plug? Yeah, the wick OBO and plug. If you didn't chase that, what else was there? There is the stop out in Adobe if you ended up taking that OBD here. I did not like it because of the deceleration into a hammer candle into a reversal pattern, as well as the same wick situation. This is not an OBD in my eyes. An OBD is down, bounce, sort of like a dead cat bounce, then continuing down. Normally you'd want to see a green candle out of the open on an OBD as well, for like an A+ setup. But this deceleration to a hammer candle, no. What did Beak end up doing? Did this hit target? Yeah, it did a while ago, I remember. before we started talking. ACN sideways, broke out of a wedge. CALT is pulling back down. Had a few uncles ask me about their trading recently. Asked me about trading recently. They got their interest from watching TikToks? Really? Okay. Good old buying cheap contracts and selling them for more? Yeah, buy low, sell high. It's really easy. How to explain what option is? You don't have to explain what options are. You just buy low, sell high, and it's instant money. Guaranteed. Send them straight to Investopedia. You should send them to my YouTube video on options. It'll help more than an Investopedia article. Investopedia is actually not that bad, but it's not very practical. It's good for scratching the surface. Sometimes it's already 5:40. Holy. We've been streaming for an hour and a half already. Hour and a half, should be an hour 40. Did I start? I did start 10 minutes late because of technical stuff. That's right. That is right. Any link clicks on the stories? No. Guess people did not want 5 winning trades hand delivered to them on a day as choppy as today. Up over like 10R. Most people who follow me probably risk an average of $50 per trade, I'd say, as an average. Lower than some of you might think, but as an average, $50 per trade, average risk. So that would be $500 profit. And some of those people risking $50 per trade are doing that on a $500 account. I'd say the average account size of the people who follow me is probably $2,000 though. So $2,000, $50 of risk, making $500. That's a 25% return today. If everybody who followed on Instagram would just hop over to the streams, they would have made 25% on their accounts on average. Not too shabby. If they all had the calm temperament and 6+ years of experience that I have, of course. And then there's also, how many different strategies? OBD, OBO, gap down trend continuation, reciprocal breakdown, gap up trend reversal, and inverted head and shoulders. All 6 trades were all 6 different patterns. So most people wouldn't trade all these patterns. You would either trade the OBO and the OBD, which is 2. So you would be, if you were trading those, you'd be 2 for 2. If you traded the trend changes, you would have traded Adobe and Beak, the gap up trend reversal in Beak and the gap down trend continuation in Adobe. You'd be 2 for 2 if you traded those. And then if you traded SPY, would combine those, the last two, you would be up. What is this last one in SPY? Up 2R minus 1, you'd be up 1R. 1 for 2. But still green. So of the 3 different segmentations of those 6 trades, let's say those were 3 different traders, all 3 of those different traders would be profitable on these trades, including a loss. That's the beauty of learning how to actually trade. It's not easy, but it's pretty simple. It's the best way to put it. It's not easy, but it is simple. Another wick testing 4094 in ETH, reversing back down. Let me show you this on Webull. This is actually pretty cool. ETH USD 5-minute chart. Look at this. Is it going to show the same? Yeah, look at this triple wick here. Now, Webull is having an order up here that my other broker I use for cryptocurrency is Gemini, because that was the only broker that went through all the paperwork and the $100,000 that it took to be registered in the States as a cryptocurrency broker back 4 or 5 years ago. It doesn't have this extended wick, but either way, these 3 wicks, boom, boom, boom. Look at that. If that breaks upward, that'll be great. Kind of hoping it breaks downward though, so I can get in at a lower price. Although saying that's a little bit greedy because it did come down here, which I was starting to get in a little bit, but this 4-hour candle spiked up too much before I woke up. It did break out of this trend. It did, oh, okay. Break out, pull back, and then break out again. If it breaks over this 40.94 level, 93 on this chart, 94 on my other chart, that's actually a trend channel breakout. Which you guys know that one. It's on my YouTube channel if you don't. Is it? No, it's on my Twitch page if you don't. It will be on my YouTube channel soon enough. This upcoming, I was going to upload this Sunday, but I finally have the data on YouTube of when my viewers watch videos, and actually nobody really watches videos on the weekends, which is interesting. That might be a entertainment versus educational thing. People are more likely to watch educational stuff during the weekday when their work brain is on and watch entertainment stuff on the weekend. I don't know. So I might upload that on Wednesday and take some time to see. Wednesday I move Wednesday. Okay, maybe that's not ideal. But that does give me the rest of the week to get a few more videos ready before moving, so I don't have to worry about that. I can worry about getting situated and settled instead of editing. Yeah, Junior, if those uncles want to take trading seriously, I know a guy. I know a guy. Let's do another run through on the watch list. 13 minutes remaining. Downward trending channel in CALT, ACN, breaking downward out of its wedge. SPY inverted head and shoulders on a larger time frame forming now. You can see here's the left shoulder, here's the head, here's the right shoulder forming. If it breaks over the 472.30 area, that'll be another inverted head and shoulders breakout. BEKE closed its gap. Good move. Plug, not doing anything. Court forming a bit of a wedge, but not really doing anything. That might break down. Can see whale trading that one. Okay, that knows a guy. That's another guy. No. You just know one guy, Junior. You know one guy. It's the same guy that I know too. We know the same guy. It's the exact same guy, believe it or not. We haven't met in person, but we know the same guy. We do. He doesn't know a guy and knows another guy. No. No, he knows that all those other guys are terrible. Full of emotions. We had this talk. We just talked about this. The guys that this guy knows, that they know the other guys, they're full of emotions. They don't care about educating, they care about entertaining, which is great, and they're succeeding. But if your uncles want to learn, Adobe wedge forming as well. This could also break down if SPY rejects his inverted head and shoulders, but it's not looking like it. I'm going to watch this inverted head and shoulders form in SPY until the morning session closes. I don't love the idea of getting into a breakout right before the lunch session. There is an NFT that I wanted to mint this morning, but I didn't have the settled funds for, that I'm curious now at what price is currently the floor. So it was at 0.27 ETH. If I go to OpenSea.io, we look up let me just pull up my browser history live on stream. Every streamer's biggest fear. The current floor is 0.33 ETH. Oh, with some that have actually gone public. So all the ones that have gone public, excuse me. So the ones that have gone public, the floor is 0.43. So from 0.27 to 0.43 ETH. Is 0.16 difference in ETH is currently at, whoa, Ethereum broke out of that level. Congratulations. That is a buy signal. Times 4,100, let's say. It's fluctuating around that level. 4,100. That is, whoops, I want to put in parentheses. $656 in profit. If I had been able to mint one of those this morning, I was unable to. Unfortunately. Such is life. right, so Ethereum broke that level. As you can see here, SPY is rejecting its resistance level. Ethereum broke this level. We'll see if it can hold above it now. But that is the confirmation of this 1 hour trend break, 4 hour trend break. They said they'll text me when they have questions. Haven't heard from them in a while, but I'll give you a shout out when they do. Absolutely. Just tell them to get their wallets out. You back everything I say. You're a huge fan. And we're good to go. And wear your hoodie while you're at it. I need to, as soon as I get back to the States, one of the first tasks I'm going to do, I don't know if Mike is still here, is figure out a design for, first of all, embroidered hoodies, because I have discovered I really don't like the print on the hoodies for general quality print-on-demand services. If it's custom, you can get some pretty good. I have, like, my favorite orange hoodie has a has the design printed on it, and it's actually a really good design, or it's a really good print. Multiple washes, no issues. But I've just found hoodies are so thick and fuzzy and soft that they don't print very well. The threads are much bigger, so there's a lot of air space between each individual thread as opposed to a t-shirt. So I'm going to look into embroidered hoodies next, as well as, now this one's for Whale if he's still listening, zip up hoodies. Embroidered zip up hoodies with the G logo on the side. That's what I think will be next. And I think only one person besides me, because I'm definitely getting one of those, only one other person is going to get one of those. It is going to be Whale, and he is probably going to buy 10. Because he still has a 20, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, 20% discount on Inlight merch that he won on my last day of streaming. All right, Junior will get one as well. You should ask Whale to buy one for you on his 20% discount. And then I'll go through and do the work of putting in a manual order so that it just ships directly to you. So a way to is pretty much just give you the 20% discount. All right, Ethereum is holding above. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Don't forget to like the stream if you liked the stream. That is what the like button is actually for, is if you like something, you click like on it. If you don't like something, you don't have to click like on it. Now, I don't recommend you clicking dislike on it, however, because your finger will fall off. But hitting like is usually quite beneficial. Did Benjamin ever take advantage of his discount? He did. Yeah, he did. And then I can't say too much, but some things happened in his life that he had to take a break from mentorship. But he'll be back. He'll be back in chat at some point. He'll be back in the Discord at some point. It actually would mean a lot to him and to me if you all just sent him a message on Discord and said, yo, I miss you. I miss talking to you in the chat. I hope you're doing all right. That would make his day. That would make his day. He probably won't see it for a while because he hasn't been on Discord in a while. But when he opens up Discord the next time and he sees a bunch of messages from all of you, like direct messages, not just in the server, but direct messages, I think it'll make his day. I actually need to make sure that his merch got there, because he's one of the only people who has ordered merch to a different country, and I want to make sure that he received it. It was delivered November 24th. Perfect. Well, I hope he received it. Yeah, feel free to send him a message. He'll like it. One more minute, then I am abruptly ending the stream without a goodbye. So if you have any last minute questions, now is the time to ask. It is the time. The time was not 2 minutes ago. It is not 1 minute from now. It is right now. This is the only time that you're allowed to ask questions. Going once, going thrice. Nadish, sir, can you have a look at Bank Nifty Markets? Yeah. Let me see how I want to do this though, because I don't have it set up. Can I get Nifty on Webull? I don't think I can. I can get the Nifty 500 index. Is that okay? Let's just look at this. Let's look at this. All right, what do you want me to know? Fell today 500 points? Yes, it did. It opened today at 1500 and closed at, it did not fall 500 points. What are you talking about? It fell from high to low. The most it fell was 180 points. But this is also Nifty 500. This isn't the overall market. This is like the S&P 500 versus SPX, for those of you who are unfamiliar with foreign markets. But it pretty much what you got, Nadish, is the exact same thing that we got in the US market. Is gap up, filled, and then a reciprocal move. By the way, SPY has rejected this 472 level and did not confirm the inverted head and shoulders. Nice. Do you want me to look specifically into a certain sector? No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people much more important than you. This has fallen 25 points on the day. As you can see up here, I actually can't see my cursor, but at the top of the screen. For the bank index, same thing, gap up, filled quickly, and then the reciprocal move. I taught the reciprocal move at the beginning of the stream. You could watch back to that, just rewatch that part of the stream. But pretty much in all of these, they're looking similar as you would expect. What's going on is you have this long-term uptrend that I'll draw in right here. You have this long-term uptrend. This line is acting as support, and then you have a bit of resistance up here. You have this kind of gap up situation that closed really quickly, but this would be the channel. You could also draw this channel as another one. This one's probably the main one right here. So what you see happened, this is on the daily chart, is if you are subscribed to this YouTube channel, in a week, I'm going to upload a video explaining trend channels a bit more. But this has a trend channel going on, which is a channel with walls where a currency or an equity, something is bouncing back and forth in price between these walls, except in this case, it is trending in one direction. In this case, it's an uptrend. There are two ways you could trade this. One is a trend channel continuation, which is the continuation of the uptrend. To get the highest ROI, the best reward to risk ratio, you'd want to buy on the bounce off of the lower channel wall, which would look something like, by the time this trend set here, you then got a test here. I'm going to draw this in yellow and red. Yellow is your entry, red is your stop loss. That's where you trigger to get out of the trade if it breaks out of the trend. Entry off of the reversal, off of the bounce off of this lower wall, after you have 2 points, 1 point and 2 points that created the lower channel. So then you finally get that confirmation that this is where the channel wall is. The next test is where you're looking to enter. It broke, you enter, and then your target, your first target is going to be the previous high, which is here. Which you can see, that's where this rejected here perfectly. The previous high within the previous test of the upper channel wall. And then your next target will be the next test of the upper channel wall, which ended up being up here. I'll change the color of these channel walls to white so you can see the targets more clear. There. And then another way to trade this is, so this would be a trend channel continuation. Now say this were to break out of the trend channel. In this case, you would look for a breakdown because it's an uptrend, so you have the highest ROI, the highest reward to risk ratio on a breakdown out of this trend channel. You would look for it to do something like this. It would break under here. I'm going to draw this in like a darker gray. This is just mimicking what might happen in the price. And then you get so it slips out of the trend channel, comes back and tests. Now this is the video that's coming out next week, so make sure you're subscribed. It tests this trend channel from outside, confirms that it is stuck outside of the trend channel, and then continues down. And on this setup, your entry would be that break of that previous low that it set before coming up and testing the channel from outside, because this is setting a lower high and a lower low, which confirms that it is now in a downtrend instead of an uptrend, and you want to go short on the downtrend. So that would be your entry, that would be your stop, and then your target would be the previous low right around here, which is also a horizontal level of support and resistance in this. So that would be your trade plan if it breaks out of the channel when it comes down and tests it next. So those are two possible trade opportunities that you had on this chart. This is the daily chart. So these would be swing trades. With trades in general, when you're on different time frames, a general rule of thumb is 10 candles. So if you're on the daily chart, expect the trade to take 10 candles. If you're on the 4-hour chart, 10 candles on the daily chart would be 10 days. On the 4-hour chart, that'd be 40 hours. On the 1-hour chart, that would be 10 hours, or roughly 2 trading days, for example. And this that I just went through, everything that I just explained, is going to be up on my YouTube channel as a video as soon as I end this stream, so you'll be able to watch it over and over and over again and see if this is the case. And if it doesn't happen on this next test, that doesn't mean that it can't happen on the next test. It might happen over here. And that's fine. You're not trying to force something to happen that's not happening. What you do in the market has zero influence over what's actually happening in the market. You just have to trade what happens. Ride the wave, not create waves. So it might happen over here. That's fine. I hope that helps. All right, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. SPY has broken down under its previous close. SPY, I'll show you really quick. 5 minute. You can see SPY is coming down. Now we can look for this reciprocal move again. Triple witching tomorrow? Yes. Triple witching tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Last triple witching, nothing happened, so we'll see. Subscribe, I appreciate that. And again, watch that over so that you could learn from that. That might not actually happen, what I just described, but it's good to keep that pattern in mind so that when it does happen in the future, you're ready for it. All right, I will see you all. I don't plan on streaming tomorrow because Fridays have been extremely slow in the streams. The last 2 Fridays I streamed, there were 0 people. So I think I'm going to take the time editing. We'll see. I will be around on Discord though. So feel free to send me a message if you have any questions or need any help with anything. And then I will see you all maybe on Monday. I'll let you know in Discord. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all those things. Leave a comment on this stream once it's uploaded as a video. Say what you liked about the stream. That'll help people who watch this stream in the future. They watch it back. It'll help them know what's going on. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Goodbye.